Whoa. Welcome to my 4th ever series ranking video. And today I am taking a look at the Halloween series from my least favorites to my most favorites. Number 10. Halloween Resurrection. Cheesy is one word that shouldn't be used to describe a Michael Myers flick, but that's what this one totally is. A shitty reality show with cameras to give the contestant perspective is what really brought this film down. It's tried to cash in on the Scream and Blair Witch Project phase by combining the two, and some people hate the ending to the opening scene and some love it. I personally despise the beginning and ending to the opening scene. It felt so forced, much like this movie. Fucking forced to squeeze whatever was left out of the Halloween franchise. It is entertaining and has some decent yet far-fetched kills, but that is not enough to satisfy. Oh, and Busta Rhymes can go bust a bottle over his frickin' head. 1 out of 5. Number 9. Halloween 2. The 2009 remake, if you want to call it a remake. At least they tried something different. I will gladly give them that. But that doesn't excuse the film from being a paranoid adventure into insanity. The vicious violence and brutal bloodshed was way too over the top, and this film is a complete oddity and random at best. It loves to show you disturbing imagery, some of which has no relevance to the movie. I remember when the Halloween movies were more subtle and not brash. This did try something new, however the film is anything but tolerant. And I thought the first remake was insane. 1.5 out of 5. Number 8. Halloween. The Curse of Michael Myers. Now, I've seen both the theatrical and producer's cut, which I guess explains more of what is going on. But to me, it just leaves more questions. I prefer the theatrical cut because it has gore, and that is more than I can say than what the producer's cut had to offer. The film itself has some decent Halloweenish atmosphere, decent effects, and decent acting. This was Donald Pleasence's last Halloween movie, and what an unpleasant way to go out. This film is way too convoluted, and I am glad they ended the Jamie Lloyd/Thorne story here before they fucked it up even more. 2 out of 5. Number 7. Halloween 5. The Revenge of Michael Myers. They just had to milk the franchise, didn't they? Parts 1 to 4 are great, but this is where the series started to lose its touch, until a couple sequels later. It has some goofy cops accompanied by goofy music, lame effects for the most part. It isn't as bad as Halloween 6, but it was pretty close. At least this still feels more like a Halloween film. The atmosphere/setting and Michael himself are all awesome. They do bring back a few of the characters from the previous movie, so that's always a plus. Donald Pleasence is insane in this movie. You can tell he was either determined to get Michael, or was just fed up with the rest of the franchise. By this point, I wouldn't blame him either way. 2 out of 5. Number 6. Halloween 3. Season of the Witch. The night no one comes home. Including Michael Myers. This is where I start to talk about the decent and awesome Halloween movies. As most of you know, this has no Michael Myers in it. John Carpenter originally wanted an anthology series about all the things that could happen on Halloween. That would have been epic if not for the backlash by the audience, who hated the film and critics panned it. As for the movie itself, it's really not that bad. It's unintentionally cheesy in some scenes, but by the end, the last frame of the movie, I was happy with how the film panned out. It has some decent gore and effects, and fun characters, and this does feel like a Halloween setting, but only to the point of why we celebrate it. I've just never gotten that seasonal feel from this movie. Still, it is a decent walk through new territory. 2.5 out of 5. Number 5. Halloween. The 2007 remake. This movie ruined my mom's weekend on its opening night. It's the reason why she hates Michael Myers. But I explained to her that this was a different character than the original Michael Myers. And that's what a lot of the fans of the series gloss over. This isn't a complete rehash of the first. Well, for the first hour anyway. I do hate that they dive into young Michael's life. But at the same time, I love it. It builds that relationship with Dr. Loomis and Michael more than any of the other installments did. As for the rest of the movie, it's loud, graphic, and sexual. sexually charged. Like I said before, this is a new Michael, and it's a new kind of Halloween movie. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been the remake of Psycho or The Omen. 3 out of 5. Number 4. Halloween 4. The Return of Michael Myers. This is a great sequel for many reasons. The atmosphere, setting, characters, Donald Pleasance and Daniel Harris. But it's also a bad sequel because of the ending, the lack of gore, Michael himself, and the plot is kind of weak. I know it tried to be like the first movie and not have too much, but this was the late 80s. You needed that boost of bloodshed for extra bang for the audience's bucks. Still, it's a very solid movie, even if Michael looks like a football player. 3.5 out of 5. Number 3. Halloween H2O. 20 years later. This should have been the third and final movie in the franchise. It's the continuation of Part 2, which picked up on the same night as the first movie. It's got great characters, gore, terror, and Halloween atmosphere. Could have it been better? Yeah, there's a lot of jump scares that are unnecessary, but so could have every Halloween sequel. This is an awesome movie, though, with an ending to top all the endings in every Halloween movie ever. 4 out of 5. Number 2. Halloween 2. The 1981 sequel. This sequel picks up directly after the first movie, and it already captures the essence of the original Halloween. Sure, there's more blood and nudity to follow, but it doesn't let it take over the movie. Michael, Dr. Loomis, and Laurie are all excellent in their roles. The rest of the acting is pretty good too. There's tons of claustrophobic atmosphere that I think adds to what the original lacked. That doesn't make it a better movie than the first, but it is still a more than worthy entry in the franchise. 4 out of 5. And my favorite Halloween movie is... Number 1. Halloween, the 1978 classic. No surprise, this movie is the most simple yet carefully constructed slasher movie I have ever seen. It's got great suspense, horror, and terror, an excellent score, and epic acting, especially for the time period. This film could have used some gore, but it wasn't needed, and the effects were done with not makeup, but suspense. Other than that, though, it is a classic. 5 out of 5. Everyone is entitled to one good scare. Yours is just not gonna be here. Go out. Have some fun this Halloween. And you've been watching my series ranking number 4. I am Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Movie Reviews. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below and to leave comments and subscribe.